Hello and thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. In today's video I just wanted to talk through how I did this very quick little acrylic on a canvas board and doing it out of my head, just a bit of a sunset, but I wanted to talk about putting your lightest highlight against your darkest area, and that really gives you a focal point to your painting. And so in this instance it's a very good subject to have a go at this with, doing an evening sky, making it quite dark. I used the black. I don't often use black, but I did use black in this painting. So I started with a canvas board. It's a very inexpensive one, and it was one that I'd had in the cupboard for a while, and you'll see that I already had a ground on that. So I'll quite often do this, is paint my boards with some leftover paint so that when I come to work on them I've got a colour to work on rather than working straight onto the white board. In this case it was painted purple and I didn't really want that, so I gave a thin layer of yellow over the top of that, and that was some yellow mixed with some white, and allowed the purple still to show through a little bit. So that's what I started off with, and then when I've actually put my paint on here I've allowed that yellow still to just come through a little bit as well, so allowing the ground to come through. So the acrylics that I used were these ones, the Amsterdam ones that I've used before, the Royal Talons I think they are, yes. So I've just got the set of 5, so you've got your 3 primary colours, whoops, and your white and black. So those are the ones. So I just put a little bit of each out in this palette. A pink palette isn't really ideal. I've talked about this before. I use these because I don't want to mess up my best palettes, my watercolour palettes, with my acrylics, because I don't use acrylic that often. So I just use these as they're quite handy to have. You could use an old white plate or anything like that to be fine as well. So you'll see for the shadows, or for, should I say, for the clouds and the silhouette of the hills, I used the black mixed with the blue. And then for everything else I used mostly the red and orange mixed, the red and yellow mixed together to make these oranges, and then some white and yellow at the end to get this highlight. So the only place really on the painting where I've got white on its own is right next to that hill there, and that's the only place also that I've got black on its own. So I've put the black and the white together there, but everywhere else it's a combination of colours mixed together, so hopefully the eye goes to that area there. So that was really what I wanted to talk about, is making a little highlight area and not overdoing it with your highlights. Don't put white all over in different places. You could look at a painting and think, well actually yeah, you need some white down here, there's a highlight there, but if you look carefully at those highlights they're actually probably just a little bit off white, and your brightest light is going to be there where the sun is, and the sun's going down. So again, as I've always say in these videos, you can spend a lot longer than I have. This took me, I don't know, about a quarter of an hour, something like that. I'll maybe just speed it up when I put it to some music in a moment to show you the full process. But if you're going to spend a couple of hours on this, you can, you know, work it and be a bit more accurate with things than I have. But I actually quite like doing it quite speedily and not overthinking it and working wet in wet. And the thing is with acrylics, because they dry so quickly, you can, you know, work both wet in wet and wet on dry, and you can come back and correct things later, and if you don't like it you can go over the whole thing and start again. So that is the great thing about acrylics. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Just have a go at doing some silhouettes and skies and things in these few colours. It's, you know, a very good simple little practice. The main thing with your sea or your river or whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing water, you'll see that I keep my arm nice and straight and get some nice horizontal brush strokes. Keep everything going horizontally to keep that feeling of water in the foreground. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back again soon with more tutorials and demonstrations. Bye for now.